In this video, we're going to talk about pullbacks. Pullbacks are incredibly important things to deal with, not only in life, but especially inside financial markets. When we look at Bitcoin, we can see it's gone through so many pullbacks here, over 22%, over 20%, nearly 22 again, and currently nearly 24%. The only up concept is like in science, it's like in chemistry, an ideal gas. An ideal gas never happens, and only up never happens as well. There is always volatility. In periods of volatility, it pays to zoom out to try to determine, is price following the normalized negative price path, a consolidation path, or a normalized positive price path? When we look at total crypto market cap, the month started off negative, it went positive, and now it's on a consolidation case and slightly positive. Not surprisingly, we're seeing exactly the same kind of behavior play out on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is seeking to get up to the positive price path at the current time. It's really good to look at the alts because they can give you a bit of an interpretation on weakness and strength. With delays and possible non-approval of the Ethereum spot ETF, we saw a lot of negative price action, but that's now starting to leave the normalized negative price path. It's starting to move towards the consolidation path. Binance Coin started off the month quite negative, but then tried to make its way up to the normalized positive price path. We can see it's just consolidating at the current time, but it's not going negative, and that's really good. XRP from the start of the month was following the normalized positive price path. Even though price can get away from these paths, normalization means we expect it to come back and to hit those paths. Unfortunately, XRP didn't hit the path and keep on going. It's been pulled down by the rest of the market. It's currently consolidating. Solana and the memes have been very positive, and you can see Solana's been following the positive normalized price path almost to the ping. ADA put in a first good attempt at the start of the month and couldn't maintain its positive normalized price path. Then it went to consolidation. We can see it's under weakness currently. Doge has been doing really well. It really left the positive normalized price path and then came straight back to it. We can see it's been more positive than consolidatory, and it's seeking to get up to this normalized positive price path at the current time. Litecoin has been trapped between the normalized positive price path and the consolidation path. We can see that it's been trying to get above that normalized price path, but just can't do it. It just can't get there at the current time. It's following the consolidation basis currently. Looking to Bitcoin Cash, we can see it's been following the normalized positive price path, but then departed as the yields gathered in strength and the dollar gathered in strength as well. We've seen that the Bitcoin Cash is following the consolidation price path at the current time. Price is always moving between structural support and structural resistance levels. So let's pop on the indicator and see what's cooking with Bitcoin. And a very funny comment from yesterday's video. 21 Coin says, when I'm driving and need to change lanes, I hear Ken's voice in my head saying, let's pop on the indicator. Just awesome. Okay, let's have a look at this. We can see that Bitcoin did really well. It cut through that 62,200 structural resistance level and then got to 63,200 and said, oh brother, this is giving me a headache. Hey, how about I try the first time? No, that didn't work. What about the second time? Yeah, that didn't work. What about the third time? Yeah, that didn't work. What about the fourth time? Are we expecting a fourth time? Please let me know in the comments. Where do you think Bitcoin's headed to? Do you think the bulls will take charge and get over that 63,200 mark and then just go for it? Or do you think we'll come back and revisit the 62,200? One thing to always remember, life itself has life rallies, life itself has life pullbacks. Just like the markets, we cannot avoid either. You cannot avoid a rally and you cannot avoid a pullback. How we cope with the rallies and how we cope, especially with the pullbacks, is very important. How we react to different pullbacks in life and inside the markets depends on very much what zone we inhabit inside our own thinking. Zone 1 is all about entitlement. If we show up, we should get a participation award. We should always get exactly what we want at all times. Of course, that's just science fiction. That is not going to happen. When people migrate out of the panic zone, which is all about entitlement, into zone 2, which is the conflict and jealousy zone, the blame zone. Both of these zones guarantee losses not only in life, but in relationships and right across the board. As soon as you know about the zones, it becomes a choice whether to stay in a zone that doesn't serve you or to move into a zone that will serve you. Inside Zone 3 and Zone 4, we focus on learning. It's good to know about the doom cycle because the doom cycle impacts relationships, work, your finances, your friendships, your sports, your hobbies, social media, every single thing that's done in life, and how we just respond to an unexpected negative outcome, some loss or some sort of upset. In Zone 1 or Zone 2, we respond with anger and hurt. What actually occurs as we do that, we can get compounding losses. And that's not what you want. What you want is to focus on Zone 3 and Zone 4, not to go into the doom cycle, but to go into the insight cycle. With awareness and understanding, we empower ourselves. The focus is on learning, just owning what is going on. In this world, we can't avoid loss. Loss is just going to happen. But what is the point of loss? It gives you strength. And as you grow in strength and wisdom, you will find that you accomplish your purpose and destiny. So many people just shut down when they go through a life pullback. This is not what the life pullback is all about. It's there to educate, it's there to guide, it's there to help, and not to harm. People want to be happy, they want to be successful, but that requires that you grow in strength. That always means that you have to philosophically handle all of these setbacks, pullbacks in your life with the right mental attitude. But what is that? It takes many decades of understanding and awareness to understand that success is an absent teacher. Now, what does that mean? It means basically you don't learn much, if anything, from success. So what do you learn from? We actually learn from stress, problems, and setbacks. Stress and problems. Stress is a particularly good one. If you're feeling any form of stress, it means there's something that you need to look at. A problem or a setback isn't what you think it is. Those are stepping stones to your ultimate success. A lot of people talk about failure, but what is failure actually? Failure comes from not converting stress, problems, and setbacks into learning, growth, and change. Failure is really, really simple. It's just the inability to grow. It's the inability to learn and the inability to change. If you can learn, if you can grow, if you can change, you can never fail. The next significant question, of course, is what is success and where does it come from? It just comes from converting stress, problems, and setbacks into learning, growth, and change. It is really simple, but so many people refuse to learn. Why do people refuse to learn? Inside Zone 1 and Zone 2, where entitlement reigns, people just blame. They say, I'm right, you're wrong, and I'm never learning, I'm never growing, and I'm never changing. One of the problems with this, those people are unknowingly causing their own failure and stopping their own success. So many people get confused on life. They think life is about how much money you get, how successful you are, how famous you are. But here's a secret. The famous people don't want to be famous. They want to be able to walk down the road and just be normal. When you think about positive excellence and the way to grow and to learn, to get into Zone 3 and Zone 4, it always starts with kindness. Being kind to yourself and being kind to others is incredibly important. When people don't know much, they know everything. So having humility is really, really important. The more educated you become, the more you understand you don't really know that much at all. So therefore, learning becomes the central focus. And whilst you're learning, it's really important to have patience. Patience does pay. I know that many people inside our beloved global family are going through some very serious life pullbacks at the moment. Many people are dealing with sickness, loss of a loved one, separation from family, relationship breakdowns, conflict, addiction, sadness, and so much more. That's why we focus on a positive excellence life trend. We know that as we gain strength, we gain the ability to unlock a happier you. Many people think the road to success is paved with victims' bodies. The victims' bodies will always come back to life and unleash harm on you, so please don't think that way. It's absolutely naive and stupid. Instead, what we're about as a community is spreading kindness, empathy, and care. This is in no way weak, because our strength comes with lots of boundaries. It's important that you have boundaries for yourself as well. If you find yourself just going through a life pullback, understand that you are quietly gaining strength. What you held as a fact has been questioned. You can fight the fact, or you can just adopt the lesson that life is giving you. And it's always life that gives you the lessons. Life is always on your side, and life wants you to rally. But in order to rally, in order to get above this resistance, you're going to need more strength. So that's why life sends you these lessons. Understanding that the universe wants you to succeed is so vitally important, because it does. Therefore, every day you can show kindness, integrity, and gratitude, because life is out there as your cheerleader, even though it may not seem to be the case. Our focus is very, very committed and dedicated to whatever we're doing in life. We know that we either win or learn, and never blame. Blaming keeps us ignorant. It keeps us very, very stupid. It keeps us from succeeding, and it makes us fail. A lot of people just focus on what they don't have, and if you want to do that, there's no shortage of ways that you can look at it. Maybe you don't have that private plane. Maybe you don't have a plane at all. But whatever it is, gratitude is seeing what you do have. And remember, life is not about what you get, it's about who you become. Many people want the Lamborghini, the private plane, the incredibly expensive blah blah blah, but it's all blah 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 because it doesn't mean a damn thing. Our focus instead is to be happy, so by extracting gratitude from each and every day, your life will change in immeasurable ways. The key is to first become wealthy on the inside, and then everything else will follow. Also, the key is to avoid the doom cycle at all costs, because it's just a loss cycle. It's compounding losses across every area of your life. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Therefore, we should always be seeking insight, always learning and ownership, kindness, forgiveness, empowerment, and just understand that the up and down nature of life is just like it occurs inside financial markets. You cannot escape the upside, and you cannot escape the downside. The key is the upside is just fantastic, but the downside feels terrible. Hopefully, what I've shared with you today can really help you to look at the downside very, very positively, because it just allows you to gain strength, kindness, wisdom, gratitude, all the things that will ultimately make you happy. And that's what life is really all about. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.